What's up guys, my name is JDCook5 and welcome back to an episode of the FC25 Tenerife Career Mode. Before we do get into this video, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Over 80% of you are currently unsubscribed to the channel, so if you can do so, it'll be much appreciated. Click that big red button down below and it helps me out a massive bunch. We start off today's episode with a simulation game against Getafe away from home, a team that's been very much struggling, and it looks to be that they'll be going down to the second division of the La Liga. We managed to get a 1-0 victory after Luzmi Cruz to open up the scoring in the 26th minute, and it seemed to be that that was the only goal. But this is the one that we've been waiting for. This is the massive tie that we are really looking forward to, and it is the final of the Copa de España versus Barcelona. Back-to-back finals for ourselves now, so we put ourselves in a really good position, just whether we can kind of carry that on and get ourselves through and get this trophy. Really strong lineup there, as you can see. Just trying to see what we can do in this moment. We've got Malagon in goal, Palacio, Spiliers, Mikic, Cancelo, Sarr, Ruiz, Biodidi, James, Alvarez and Becker all lining up, so it's probably the strongest side that we could realistically field. We know that Barcelona are a strong side. We've lost to them on multiple occasions in this particular save, so we know what to expect. Let's just see if we can bring our A game, and it takes a little bit of kind of a while to do so, in fairness, but we start the game nice and strong in the 24th minute, just kind of really trying to kind of get our grasp of the game and trying to get a few passes about, see if we can get a few runs inward. But yeah, really hard against the Barcelona side. As you can see, Biodidi came close there in that moment and he put a lot of pressure on the defence, but unfortunately nothing came of it. Sesko now on the ball for Barcelona, as Barcelona look to see if they can create their first real opportunity of the game. Malero on the left hand side finding Dani Olmo there as he looks to hold up the play, and he holds the ball really well. It's a good effort, but it looks to be a simple save from Malagon as he stands his ground and makes the save. He throws it out to Ismail Assar on the right hand side as he looks to be able to see if he can have Carlos Alvarez in support. Sarr hasn't done too much in his Tenerife career. Can he see if to do something now? As he bursts down the right hand side, he cuts into the box, he finds Geraldo Becker, and that's a super save from Wozniak Szczesny at his near post. Corner kick to be taken by Ismail Assar. Ball whipped in there, decent delivery it has to be said. No one latches onto it, but Palacio with the rebound there. Becker tries to get a shot off, not to be, but Palacio still in play as he looks to see if he can get someone on the edge there as Sarr is there. Ball into the area, and that is another corner kick to be conceded from Barcelona, but nothing comes of it, unfortunately. Into the second half we now go. First half was slightly promising. We need to up our game in the second half if we want to get ourselves a hand on that trophy. João Cancelo making a good interception, finding Daniel James on the left-hand side. James kind of didn't really do much of it in that moment in time, and unfortunately lost out in play. Sesko now on the ball for Barcelona, finding Dani Olmo. Olmo now getting past the defenders. He does really well to find Sesko at the same time, and it hits the post, I'm pretty sure. A really good chance, and another save from Malagon as it falls out to Palacio as he looks to be able to mop up the rest of the play and get rid. A really good chance for Barcelona to get themselves in front in this tie, but not to be, as we look to be able to go up the other end and see if we can create something for ourselves. Ismail Assar on the right hand side cutting in, finding Marcel Ruiz. Ruiz to Mikic there, Mikic striding forward. He does really well at the same time, finding Ismail Assar. Now to Alvarez, he's got many in support, Geraldo Becker being one of them. He finds his teammate Ruiz on the edge of the area, and that's a super block from Kobe Mainu, and it gets rid of that particular player as Barcelona look to now go up the other end of the pitch. The game's really sort of got exciting as we intercept it in the middle. Spilier striding forward out of his normal position of being a centre-back, finds his teammate Ismail Assar on the right-hand side, cuts in on the right. He does really well. He's got support there. He finds Becker, just can't get the shot off. Really unlucky at the same time, but that was the end of that particular bit of play there. 20 minutes left to go in normal time. If things stay like this, we will be going to extra time, but can we prevent that? Alvarez now finding Ismail Assar on the right-hand side. Decent move, it has to be said, and Sarr's been helpful on that right-hand side. Can't seem to do much in the moment, but he's still in possession. He finds his teammate Marcel Ruiz now, and that's a very solid hand from Wozniak Szczesny there. Corner to be taken from Ismail Assar. Ball to be whipped into the area. Marcel Ruiz is there, but no one to be able to latch onto the header as Dani Olmo picks up the scraps and he looks to be able to run with it as Barcelona look to hit ourselves on the counter-attack. Spiliers with the initial interception with a foul being committed with advantage being played. Barcelona look to go on the attack here as Rafinha bursting down the right-hand side. Rafinha with no one to be seen whatsoever. He cuts in, he finds his teammate Sesko, and unfortunately that is a goal. 15 minutes left to go and Barcelona look to be able to put their reach onto the trophy, as it's Tenerife 0, Barcelona 1. Not the most ideal situation to be in, that's for sure. We've had large parts of the game that we've dominated and we have had plenty of chances, but unfortunately in that moment when we've got such short time left, you can only think Barcelona can now have their grasp on the trophy. A very, very good move from Rafinha originally, and he's such a hard man to stop on the right hand side, that's for sure. But we're going to try our best. We're going to see if we can make some substitutions there with Chris Rigg coming onto the field for Buadidi and Liso coming onto the field for Ismail Assar. Hopefully that changes things up. I'm not too sure, but Yanis and Hadji also on for Sheraldo Becker. So 3 changes made. Can we do something from this kickoff here? As you can see, Alvarez finding Marcel Ruiz. Now Liso with his first touch of the ball there, trying to find his teammate Alvarez, and he does exactly that. And Hadji with the run. He makes a decent run and he latches on to play there after originally being intercepted. He finds back to Alvarez. He turns his man. He does so well, but once again, Szczesny denying the Tenerife players of any sort of hope as a big save made. 5 minutes left to play, and Hadji striding forward. He finds Carlos Alvarez, but he just can't seem to latch onto the ball, unfortunately. But he wins back the ball after a solid challenge off of Ben White. Alvarez now looking to see if he can do anything in the moment there as he finds his teammate Chris Rigg. Rigg now to Marcel Ruiz. It's kind of make or break for ourselves as Rigg backs it over Ruiz. We don't want to lose the ball because if we do, we don't know if we're going to get back in possession. And what a hit and what a goal that is from Marcel Ruiz. Tenerife 1, Barcelona 1, and it looks to me that we are pushing it to the extra time after Marcel Ruiz saves us right at the death. What an effort that is from Marcel. We've had many chances diverted from Wozniak Szczesny, but seems to be this time round he cannot be stopping that one whatsoever, and we find ourselves 1-1. Really good opportunity to take there, and he's done it so well. Very hard effort to do at that sort of angle, and it nestles into the top corner. Love goals like that, that's for sure. And now into the first half of extra time. Barcelona will feel a little bit hard done by near to the end, but Lamine Yamal now trying to do something. Espiliez makes a challenge. He's already on a yellow, and unfortunately he has been sent off, and that is now Tenerife down to 10 men in the last minutes of this first half of extra time. Really difficult now because we've got to make some big changes, and it's going to be tough to see what we can do in this moment, in fairness, because it's not going to look good for us whatsoever. We've stuck with the same formation, but we've made the change for Leon coming on, and we're just going to have to change an attacker, unfortunately. So down to 10. Free kick to be taken from Rafinha, it looked to be, but it's playing short from Dani Olmo. Now Lamine Yamal, and that's a super block from Palacio, and that is the end of that particular moment. But it's still a corner kick to be taken here. The 102nd minute. Look, Lamine Yamal tries to do something in this moment. He finds Dani Olmo, back to Alphonso Davies. A lovely back heel there. Block from Yao Cancelo as he finds Chris Rigg, and he just nods it away from play. And that is the end of the first half in extra time. Still 1-0. If things stand like this, we will be going to a penalty shootout. Rafinha now on the ball, finding Ansu Fati coming on as he finds Tobido to Sesko. Sesko now on the ball, he finds Pedri. A lovely bit of play here, as you can see from Barcelona, looking very fluent, and that's a super save from Malagon, once again keeping his side in it, and it looks to go out for a corner kick there. Barcelona with all the kind of cards on the table now, really trying to do something in this moment as the ball is whipped into the air. It's a decent ball, it's Davies, and that's a super save from Malagon. It falls to Chris Rigg, and it looks to be that we're going to get rid of that bit of play and find Adrian Lisa on the right hand side. He turns his man, finding Alvarez. Could this be the moment where we go on the counter-attack? Could this be the moment we define all odds? Carlos Alvarez now holding the play up. Yanis and Hadji straight offside, but at the moment he tries to find him. It falls out to back to him once again, but very unlucky, that's for sure, on Barcelona get themselves in possession. 5 minutes left to play as Mikic looks to be able to see if he can get the ball off Lamine Yamal, and he does very well at doing so at the same time, finding Leon. Back to Mikic it goes as he puts it down the right hand byline there, as you can see, with Adrian Liso in support of Carlos Alvarez making a 1-2. Liso now striding forward, Sanhaji running into the gap. This is what dreams are made of, this is what moments are made of, and it's Tenerife 2, Barcelona 1, and with 2 minutes left to spare, 10 men Tenerife look to be holding the Copa de España for a second time in a row. I don't want to tempt fate or anything like that, but you can only think that we're in that sort of position to do so. What a moment, what a goal. Yanis and Hadji coming on as a substitute, Adrian Liso coming on as a substitute, both changing the game, and it looks to be that we might just be able to get over the line in this particular fixture and get ourselves a Copa de España for the second time in this career mode save. 119 minutes on the clock. Barcelona look to have one last attack. Lamine Yamal puts the ball into the air. It's a great ball. Palacio headers it out. It falls out to Pedri. Last chance for Barcelona potentially as it falls out to Rafinha. Rafinha now looking to see if he can hold his line. He does really well. Ball is cleared. Surely the full-time whistle has to be blown at any second now, and it has. The full-time whistle has been blown, and Tenerife has got some absolute heroics winning it the way that we have done so. It's Tenerife 2, Barcelona 1. It was a great game to start off with, and we thought we lost out in the end by conceding with 15 15 minutes left to go, upset Marcel Ruiz, and we went into the first half of extra time, but it just went from bad to worse after getting Spillier sent off. You could only thought that we was all written off by that point in time, but upset Yenis and Hadji, and we finally do it once again. Really, really good stuff. It seems to be this is our competition. Seems to be that we've got the knack for winning trophies in this sort of competition, and we have done it once again, as I mentioned. It's been a very, very good run. Hasn't been testing to a certain degree. I think it's probably been harder than the run that we had last season, I have to say, but at the same time, I feel like the luck of the draw has been on our side to that particular degree, but it's been a hard final, that's for sure, facing one of the best sides in Spanish football. But we have managed to triumph, and we've lost many a time to Barcelona, as I mentioned, but not today. We come out of a 2-1 victory, and we also come out with the Copa de España, heading back to the Canary Islands of Tenerife, and Marcel Ruiz raises that trophy to celebrate in front of the fans that have currently packed the Santiago Bernabéu. Really, really good competition to win as always, and that is the second trophy that we have won this season, with belonging to the Super Copa. Hopefully we can potentially get that Europa League also to be able to get a treble on the way. CD Tenerife beat FC Barcelona in the win of the Copa de España, in which was a memorable final, and thousands of fans celebrated that hard-won victory, and I'm not surprised whatsoever. It was a difficult one to be able to start off with Girona, but we managed to get off with a 3-1 victory, and it seemed to be that we was on for a decent kind of run there. Atletico Bilbao, a 2-1 victory against them, so we faced two La Liga sides. So in fairness, the run was fairly hard. The quarterfinals was slightly easier as we faced Real Valladolid as a 2-0 victory. We then went into the semi-finals against Sevilla, where it was very tough, 3-2 on the day, but 4-5 on aggregate in the end, and then that big win against Barcelona with a 2-1 victory. But from finals to semi-finals, as we face Roma in the Europa League semi-final. Looking forward to this one, a massive European competition to be in, but at the same time it's a massive time for us to step up against a different European opposition. Roma have been kind of prolific for winning trophies over the years. I mean, not so much recently, but definitely in kind of latter years, or kind of early years, shall we say. So it's a tough side to face. They've got a lot of history, and this is going to be the lineup. Not the strongest of the lineup that we've ever fielded, but we've got Malagon in goal, Kouassi and Leon as your centre-backs, with Rodriguez on the right, Melo on the left, James, Cameron, Rigg, Liso and Pereira just ahead there, with Schroeder Becker as the lone striker. Not the strongest side that I fielded, as I mentioned, but at the same time I'm confident that we can get the job done. We've got kind of faces on there that kind of can pull out individual performances, so kind of backing up for the few players that don't normally play, but at the end of the day they wouldn't be good enough if they weren't on the pitch. So they're there to do a job, and hopefully we can do so in this tie against AS Roma. Roma get themselves kicked off there, as you can see. They've got a very, very good side. Obviously with career mode they make different kind of transfers and so on, but they've still kind of got a basis of what they've previously had, and it's a great opportunity straight away in the first minute, and that's sort of a taste what we're expecting straight away after a chance in the first minute denied from Malagon as we look to clear our lines. Rodriguez on the right hand side finding Adrian Liso, ball into the middle, Chris Rigg there opening up the play, finding Liso. Rodriguez in support at the same time as he offers his support there, and he does exactly that and gets the ball. He finds Dylan Pereira in a decent bit of space, finding Schroeder Becker now, but the play is offside, and that is the end of that particular play. Roma starting the game really, really strongly. Can we get a chance early on also, as now Rigg in the middle finding his teammate Schroeder Becker, Daniel James on the left for support, and he's found him in a decent bit of space here, as you can see, tussling with the defender, looking for an opportunity to get the ball into the area. As you can see, he does really well cutting inside. He hits it, a very, very good curled effort, but just straying wide on that particular opportunity. As we reach the 40th minute in the first half, it sort of died down at this sort of point. Not really kind of any sort of creations from either side, in fairness. Roma now looking to hold their own as they find Schul on the right hand side, looking to do something in this moment, as Bulzini now in the middle, looking it over to go to Dobvik, and that's a very, very good ball. Leon can't match him for paces. He tries to hold him up. He finds his teammate Palzoni, and he gets the goal. It's Tenerife 0, Roma 1, and they open up the scoring there in the 43rd minute. It looks to be they'll be going into the second half 1-0 up. It's been a fairly kind of average game, shall we say, evenly contested, but at the same time Roma have got their chance and they've taken it. A very good attacking move, and Leon was kind of stretched between two defenders. Not much he could have done in that particular situation, and unfortunately we have conceded with a few minutes left to spare into the first half. I would have liked to be able to go into the second half being able to kind of be 0-0 and kind of build on that, but let's see what we can do in the second half now. Roma now looking to build on what they did in the first half, as Biena on the left hand side looking to create something here, as you can see, as he found Panzon, the goal scorer, bearing in mind he looks to get the ball into the area, holds his ball ball up really well in fairness, and a decent challenge from Leon, and it looks to be a corner kick from Roma. The real pressure is mounted from Roma now, and you can really see why they've kind of reached this sort of place in this competition, as Lafi now on the ball, looking to get the ball into the area potentially, but he actually favours himself getting onto the edge. Now Longo, it's a decent effort once again, and Leon comes to the rescue as he makes a decent block there. Saul now with the corner, he looks to put the ball in, it's a decent ball in, and it's now a teammate that gets onto the end of it. How that's not gone in. Leon with another block there as we look to clear our lines. Dylan Pereira latching onto it. He's on his own, but he fancies his chances there as he skips past the defenders, does so well in the bit of possession that he's got. He's got no one around him whatsoever. He holds it up, he's found someone. Geraldo Becker, Rob Cameron, 1-on-1, and that's his first goal for Tenerife. Tenerife 1, Roma 1. We've had him since the start, but I'm pretty sure that's his first goal for Tenerife, and what a way to do it. Really, really good counter-attacking move. Hats off to Dylan Pereira for holding the ball up in such a kind of high bit of space there and being so kind of overcrowded by the Roma defenders. He does so well in that moment. Rob Cameron making an initial run. No one was around him. He takes his touch. He's not exactly known for his goals, but that was an absolute superb finish past the keeper, and he makes it 1-1. We're now back into this tie. Can we build on that? Can we get ourselves a lead? I'm not too sure. We've got 61 minutes played in the tie. Still probably half an hour in game. Can we do something? Now Palzon tries to get the ball in there, as you can see us. The Leon clears. Falls back to Dobvik there. It's a great opportunity, and it's a solid save from Malagon, I have to say. In that particular opportunity, you could only think that that was going to be a goal, but super stuff from Malagon. Daniel James finding the goal scorer, Rob Cameron, as he finds Adrian Liso in support. Liso now looking to offload it to potentially the right-hand side as he looks to skip into the gap there, and he does really well in fairness. He's got Geraldo Becker in support. He finds Becker. He turns his man. It does really well, but the touch is very, very poor, and it looks to be the end of that particular attack there, as you can see, as Roma get themselves in possession, but David Rodriguez not giving it up whatsoever. Solid challenge from Rodriguez. He cuts inside. He gets himself into the area, finding Becker, and how is he blocked that? And it's another block. It's another save, and they got rid of that one. I was about to say 2-1 to Tenerife, but not to be on that occasion, and we do make some substitutes there, as you can see. Geraldo Becker leaving the field for Yanis and Hadji as we look to be able to change up the wingers. Cruz is going to go onto the right hand side, and Liso is going to switch to the left hand side, with Rob Cameron, the goal scorer, coming off for Diarra. 4 minutes left to play in this tie. I'll be quite happy to see the game out and get into kind of the Stadio of Olimpico 1-1, but you just never know at the end as Kouassi looks to clear it, finding Chris Rigg there, as you can see. Maybe a counter-attacking move might be created. Luzmi Cruz now making a 1-2 of Sen Hadji, as you can see. He makes a decent run. Sen Hadji can't find him, but it falls to Dylan Pereira instead. Pereira now striding forward. It's a good run from Pereira in fairness. It does really well in the actual fact. He finds Sen Hadji, but similar to Becker, the shot is blocked. The Diarra with the follow-up shot blocked once again. Sen Hadji gets it played to him. He's got a free shot on goal, and you would only think that he would bury that in that opportunity, but not to be on that occasion. And we do get a tie in this particular game. Tenerife 1, Roma 1. A very good kind of fixture against two great sides in fairness. Just didn't really be able to kind of finish it on the night. Had plenty of opportunities, but so did the opposition. So when you look at the actual kind of scoreline itself, it was probably fair in that way. And now we go into the second leg at level. So all to do in the second leg. It's going to be a very interesting tie, that's for sure. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Before our last fixture, we have a simulation game against Celta Vigo, and that ended up to be a 1-1 draw. Luzmin Cruz getting on the score sheet in the 40th minute to open up the scoring, but unfortunately they fought back in the 68th minute, and that was all she wrote in that particular league tie, and both sides share a point. But this is a massive tie now. It's even bigger than the first one, knowing whoever goes out on top on this particular tie is through to the Europa League final. It's going to be a massive game. It's going to be a very, very tense game, but I'm all for it, and let's see what we can do against Roma. We know what to expect. At the end of the day, they're a top side. We tried to rest some players again against Celta Vigo, so hopefully we were able to get the kind of the strongest side that we could possibly field against Roma. Malagon in goal, Palacio and Spiliers as your centre-backs, with Mikic on the right, Cancelo on the left, James Buer, Didi Ruiz, Liso and Alvarez make up the midfield, with Geraldo Becker as the lone striker. Looking forward to this one, as I mentioned, but very nervy at the same time. And in the 6th minute there, Roma looked to kick-start off things here, with Balzini now finding his teammate there. Ederson on the right-hand side trying to get something going, but Cancelo solid in the challenge, and he makes a lovely ball on the left-hand side there as he makes a run, finding his teammate Geraldo Becker. Becker now lofting it over the top to find Adrian Liso. He touched it down, finding Alvarez. Alvarez now to Becker. It's Becker now, and that's a super save from the keeper, Pau Lopez, as he keeps it out of play. And it looks to be that the Roma defenders look to get rid of that particular one there, as they look to go on the counter-attack themselves here. As you can see, the players opening up quite nicely for them, as Silva on the ball for Roma, trying to see if we can depossess in there of Bishkov there, trying to find Silva, and that's a super save from Managon. It still looks to be in play though, as they keep it in play, but they do get a kind of don't seem to do much with the possession, and it is a goal kick in the end. 18 minutes on the clock. Both sides have had chances. Can we do something now in this moment? As you can see, Marcel Ruiz finding his teammate Adrian Lisa on the right-hand side. He cuts in on the left, finding Alvarez there in a decent bit of space, as Alvarez does what he does best, and that's run at defenders, finding Sherada Becker. He turns his man one-on-one, and he toe pokes it past the keeper. It's Roma 0, Tenerife 1, and we've been able to open up the scoring there with not many minutes played, and Sherada Becker with the goal. Is that going to be the goal that sends us to the final, or have we got many moments in this tie left to happen? I'm not too sure, but it's a great finish from Sherada Becker. Lovely move from Carlos Alvarez. Becker just toe pokes it past the keeper. Nothing he could do in that situation, and we now have the lead. So bearing in mind it's only 2-1 on aggregate, and so if they do kind of get another goal back, it'll be 1-1 on the night and 2-1 on aggregate, but we get them depossessed straight away off the kickoff. Carlos Alvarez now looking to see what he can do in this moment, as he looks to be fouled, but referee doesn't have any interest in giving it, as Bishkov now on the left hand side finding his teammate Baina. Andre Silva now looking to do something. He takes the shot. Spiliers with the block, but it falls back out to Baina. It's got very lucky. Malagon with the save. Spiliers with the clearance, and that was very unlucky for Roma, and very lucky for Tenerife not to concede in that moment in time, that's for sure, as Roma looked to play it out from the back here. As you can see, Baina on the left hand side trying to do something, but that is the end of that particular move. It's been a very close tie in this half, I have to say. Both sides look evenly matched as we look to be able to create another opportunity, but depossessed in that moment. It's Koku now on the ball for Roma, finding Baina on the left hand side. Bishkov now with an opportunity, as you can see, as he looks to get a ball on the left hand side kind of made, and unfortunately nothing to be created, as Spiliers has now got his work cut out, as Koku now finding his teammate Silva. He does really well, Spiliers, though, as the ball is misplaced, and he mops it up really nicely, and we now look to go on the counter-attack. Sherada Becker in support here of many other players, and he gets the ball. Carlos Alvarez looking to make a run on the right-hand side. There's only them two up in support. Can they do something in this moment? The ball is chipped into the box. Alvarez not with the best of passes, but Buadidi picks it up. He hits it, and that is a super effort, I have to say. It didn't look too far from the net, and we now go into the second half. 1-0 up. Still all to play for. Still a lot can happen in this moment. Only Roma needed one goal, and they are back into proceedings as Roma look to start off the second half nice and quickly here. Bishkov now finding his teammate Baina on the left hand side, trying to do something in this moment here. They're playing it out from the back now. Edison in the middle of the park finding Koku. Koku now with an opportunity to do something as he shimmies past one midfielder. Can he do it again? He finds Baina on the left hand side. Onto the edges, Bishkov. He does really well finding his teammate Edison. He's in space. It's Silva, and it's a super save from Malagon. Once again, it falls back out to play of the Roma players. It's still a dangerous bit of attack here. It's Baldzini, and it is a goal. It's Roma 1, Tenerife 1, 2-2 on aggregate, and this is shaping up to be a massive tie now as they get themselves back into the game early on in the second half. Are we going to go to extra time? Is it all going to be done in the 90? I'm not too sure. It's a poor kind of bit of moment for Malagon. He makes a very good first initial save, but to concede it on near post is never kind of glamorised whatsoever, and unfortunately they are now level, and we give the ball away straight away here as Andre Silva finds Bishkov there on the left hand side finding Baina. Baina now with an opportunity to see what he can do in this moment, finding his teammate once again. Silva in support. He's got many others in support. It's Baldzini. He's already scored one. Can he get a second to his name? He's skipped past the defender, and that's a super save from Malagon, I have to say. But all the pressure is coming from Roma in this moment in time. The passes, the flicks, everything is looking sublime. Edison finds Silva. It's only a matter of time before they get the goal. It's shot blocked. It's Buadidi that clears, and now we lose out on possession once again there. But another challenge from Liso of finding Carlos Alvarez there, as you can see now. Becker's on his own, but he can't seem to do enough with it, and that is the end of that particular play. But Buadidi with a solid challenge, may I say, as James now picks it up to Buadidi once again, finding Carlos Alvarez. It gets past his man. It's Alvarez, and how is that not gone in? Pau Lopez with a super save. Ball whipped into the area. Daniel James with a lovely head ball in there, and João Cancelo can't seem to convert in at that moment in time. But a very good tie. This is really shaping up to be. The second half has definitely got more to it, that's for sure. 64 minutes on the clock, and Dobvik now on the ball as he looks to do something, as João Cancelo makes a really solid challenge. He's got a lot of support to be able to get the ball out as he fancies Adrian Lisa on the right hand side. Lisa looking to win the header, and he definitely does that, finding Carlos Alvarez on the right. Becker in support at the same time, but the only one up with him, so he's only got Becker to be able to do something. But Alvarez fancies himself there. He finds Becker, and that is another save from Pau Lopez. How he is doing this, I'm not too sure. Keeping his side in it. Ball whips into the area. Cancelo once again there, but cannot convert from the corner kick. Really good tie this is. And that is all she wrote in the 90s. So extra time will be played here at the Stadio Olimpico. It's going to be really hard now. Fatigue is going to be a massive factor today. So I haven't made any substitutions as of yet, but thinking about it, I feel like I should have done. Roma now looking to see if they can do something straight away, and that's a super save from Malagon, and that poises me to make some substitutions, that's for sure. Buadidi coming off the field for Chris Rigg as we look to be able to freshen up the midfield. Dylan Pereira on for Carlos Alvarez, and Geraldo Becker might be leaving the field at some point, but I've only got Anger on the bench, so I'm not too sure at this moment in time. Corner kick to be taken by Koku as the ball is whipped into the area. Very deep, may I say, but a super save from Malagon as he looks to be able to offload it to Daniel James on that middle. He heads it down to Den Pereira. This could be a counter-attacking move. Pereira's now got support with Geraldo Becker being in support there, as you can see, as he looks to play him in, and that's a superb ball. Geraldo Becker one-on-one, and he doesn't miss those, that's for sure. It's Roma 1, Tenerife 2. It's 3-2 on aggregate, and it looks to be that we might just have our place booked into the final of the Europa League. I wouldn't like to speak too soon because anything can happen in this game, but that feels like it could be the winning goal. I'd like to say it is, but you just never know. Really hard to predict as we now in the 117th minute into the second half of extra time. Roma didn't create anything in the first half of extra time. Can they do so in the second as Palacio makes a good interception? 118 on the clock. Will they have another chance, or will we be able to run down the clock? Geraldo Becker on the ball now. 119 minutes on the clock. He looks to fancy it onto the right hand side of Mikic there, but he doesn't win the header. Roma in possession. If they can get this forward quick enough, they have got one last attack plus one on the additional. Referee needs to blow that whistle as soon as he gets to the first minute, and it has done. Ref, blow that whistle. Roma still looking to get on the charge. Roma look to have one last opportunity. Edison funny his teammate. A ball is whipped into the area. Spiliers clears it, nodded on by Liso, and the referee does blow his whistle. The full-time whistle has been blown. It's Roma 1, Tenerife 2. It's 3-2 on aggregate, and we have booked our place into our first ever European final. Really good stuff this is. I don't want to tempt fate, but I really feel like we can kind of do this now and be able to kind of put our stamp in the final and get a victory. But it's going to be a big test whoever we do face in the Europa League final, because that was hard enough as it is. A massive battle against Roma, charismations, that's for sure, and unfortunately they do bow out of the Europa League. And as you can see, we will be facing Arsenal in the final of the Europa League. They thumped home a 6-2 aggregate victory, and in the second leg they got a 3-0 victory against Scottish team Rangers to be able to book themselves a place in the Europa League final. Will their Europa League curse kind of go away, or will they be still searching for a European trophy? Looking at the La Liga table there, Granada, Real Zaragoza and Rayo Valenciano still all down at the bottom there. A lot to play for in terms of relegation. Looking at the top though, it's very tight still. It looks to be that we kind of know who's there for the taking, but at the same time I'm just trying to get ourselves a top 4 place and be able to solidify that European spot for Champions League. But we've played 34, we've won 21, we've drawn 9 and we've lost 4. Currently sitting on 72 points at this current point in the season. It's a tough ask to be able to kind of get ourselves into a better position than this at this moment in time. So happy for where we are, and we're going to be able to kind of put a title charge on next season hopefully. But that is it for this particular episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe for more content, and join me next time as it will be the season finale. Cheers.